What fears do you have regarding AI taking over simple jobs and leaving people out of work?
I personally don't have any fears, but I'm also not running a country. I'm not somebody who feels particularly threatened by automation taking over my job. So it's a tough question, I think, to answer. And I want to approach this topic with a little bit of sensitivity because I do think we're starting to get to a phase where there is going to be a lot of job displacement. And a lot of people have different sides of that argument about, well, there'll always be more jobs that humans can do as automation continues to progress. But I will say definitively, at least how my logic works, is humans are finite. We have a finite set of capabilities. We're physiologically constrained. As we continue to automate more and more and more, there's just going to be a limit to what humans can do. And we're going to have to face that, I think, with eyes wide open. So if you think about what could happen in the job, well, a lot of people's jobs can be replaced for sure. And there's a lot of societal questions, not only moral questions, but also just how do societies are going to work as this future is starting to become reality that are very concerning. And I think pose a lot of very serious questions. But I'll start the conversation there because personally, I'm more excited than nervous. And that might be more of an issue of where I am in life and where I sit in society than would be the normal maybe reaction.
And I would say that I think we already know the answer to all this because this isn't the first time automation's happened. This isn't the first time there's disruption. This isn't the first time that hosts, the entire agricultural industry was, like I don't know, 80% of people were involved in it once upon a time. And now it's, I don't know what percentage, but, so like there isn't an industry that this hasn't happened in and where there's been massive amounts of shift. But if you look at the data, the total number of people, and I don't have the data on this, ChatGPT might, but the number of jobs in the world right now and the number of people living above the poverty line and the number of people who are able to contribute to society, there's no question the trend is just more and more and more and more. So every time there's automation, everyone's like, oh, all these people are losing jobs. But there hasn't been a scenario where automation has not ultimately created more jobs and more opportunity.
Well, but that one I'm not sure about. That can't continue forever, though. I don't think, Jonathan, that where more jobs can't keep being created. There's going to come a time where I think automation will start to limit the overall job pool that humans can feasibly do. Are you not aligned with that?
I mean, you get to a point where, like, you imagine a world where just all robots and no people. Like you look in the Matrix and you could start seeing that. No, I don't think so. I think that I'm a big fan of patterns that seem to be embedded, and it's just my obviously it's an opinion, but we'll go to more planets. We'll expand as a species, and the process will just keep going and going and going, or we'll have some common challenge that affects all of humanity that requires people to do a lot more, or in other words, whatever happens, it won't be because of automation limiting us as a species.
Right. Well, and I will say, and maybe it's the answer, the question that was originally, Mike, you asked with another question, which is, I'm not afraid of artificial intelligence. I'm more afraid of what the leaders of humanity will do as our species evolves in tandem with technology. I think that's what really people should be afraid of. We should never be afraid of productivity, of innovation, of the ability to do more with less and create abundance. I think now the question of what is the people in control of that abundance going to do with it for all of mankind. Now that's a question that could be posed, and I have a little more nervousness about that.